I'm back with the FK8 stuff, and today we have a really cool thing. Got some new wheels. I'm gonna put some new wheels on it, and T37SL 18 by 9.5 plus 38. So these are gonna look great. Open this up. Mercury silver. So got the OG stickers on here. Thank you to Matt at ICB for helping us out with these. If you need race wheels, anything JDM, Matt at ICB is the man. He hooks us up. He helps us out with all, gets us all of our hard to find stuff. Running new set of tires, Falcon RT660s. So thank you to Falcon for setting us up with these. I'm really excited about running these new tires. I haven't had, we put these on the EM1, but haven't really driven the car a whole lot. These will definitely see the track. So we'll replace these Titan 7 TS5s, and these wheels, I know in some of the videos they look really dirty. They're actually stained. So like I've tried to clean these many times, and there's just nothing I can do. Short of scuffing it down with a Scotch-Brite, there's no hope. So they need to be stripped and repainted. White was a bad choice, I'll admit it, but hey, you live and you learn. Shout out to Falcon again. Thank you for helping us out with all these tires for all these cars and these projects. I really appreciate it. The hood, saw in one of the last episodes we did, we cut up the hood and got it all mounted. Still need to put the hood pins in place. We did get the wrap scheduled, so it's all measured and the designed and all that stuff. So it's going to take a couple of weeks to get that done, and we'll have to bring the car over there so they can put it on. So that'll be coming up. But I got to put the stickers on these things, and then we can bring them to get them mounted. So let's go. So I've got the FK8 up on the lift. We're gonna put this Hasport mount in. So thank you, Rob, thank you, Brian, for this awesome mount. We have to remove the downpipe to gain access to this bolt. So I gotta pull this plastic panel down to get to the downpipe. And then also I'm gonna be hooking up an oil temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge. So I've gotta drain the oil, get a new oil filter, and then we gotta get some adapter fittings to kind of route the pressure sensor the right way and get it out of harm's way. So I'll do do this mount first, and then we'll go get some fittings, and then we'll keep going with the gauges, and yeah, we'll see how that works. Okay, we've got this engine mount installed. This Hasport mount. It's kind of a bigger pain, kind of a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. I had to pull all this stuff off down here, but we got it in. It's nice and tight. Gonna be ready to go. Now, next thing is going to be to start working on the gauges. So I got an oil pressure gauge, oil temperature gauge, and we will need to drain the oil because I'm going to be using these 2 spare ports in this Greddy oil filter relocation kit. Well, it's not an oil filter, it's an oil cooler. So on it, it has 2 extra little ports right there. I've got adapters and some extra kind of fittings that I'm going to put together that I can read the pressure and the temperature from that. But if I pull those out, it's going to drain all the oil out. And we're going to do that anyway, so and here's the drain bolt. And yeah, go ahead and drain this fluid and then take that filter off and take the sandwich plate down and see what we're working with here. Ran into a snag trying to put these sensors in here. The fittings in this oil kit, this oil cooler kit, I thought that they were -10s, but turns out that they're not even AN fittings at all. They're some sort of metric thread with an O-ring. So we're gonna take the stock fittings, drill and tap so that we can run our temp sensor and our pressure sensor. And so the goal to this is, let me see if I can get up in here. The goal to this is really going to be to run temperature and pressure. So temperature and pressure off of these 2 ports, and then run those sending units back to the gauges inside. So we'll have to do a little modification to these fittings and it should all work. We drilled and tapped these fittings, threaded the pressure sensor in. It's we had to get a 90-degree elbow just to kind of get it up because it was going to hang so low. And we got the temperature temperature sensor in the other fitting, and everything fits really nice in here. It doesn't, you know, it's out of the way. It's not going to hang down. So now that that's in, we'll just have to start running our wires. So that's awesome. I'm pumped. So, making some progress on this. I've got the base. Damn, is this cracked already? Wow, that sucks. Put some glue on that. But I guess that's what you get for buying 3D printed stuff. Anyway. Yeah, so the gauges are in here and they just get like double-sided tape that just kind of holds them in place. So not that big of a deal, but the biggest deal is the fact that like now I can't pull the gauges out because there's no connectors. I mean, I can unplug one of the gauges, but the other one I can't. So what I did here is I just connected these lines together and put some heat shrink on them. And the best thing to do would be to put like a connector on here that has all the correct locations and stuff, but I don't have any connectors and any of the pins with me right now, so I'm just going to use these male and female ends. So I'll crimp the 2 together and then we'll have one wire that comes off the other end. And I'm basically going to build the other section. So this will be one piece, and then we'll have a whole nother separate harness that's going to go in the car. And then when I'm ready, we'll put the gauges in, and that way I can plug all these together, feed it through, and snap it in. And then if for any reason, none of this is permanent, so like, you know, you can unplug it and pull it out of the car if you want. And this stuff, the rest of these wires, this is way too short, so it's not even going to make it to the sending units as it is. So I'll just make that whole section. I've got wire and stuff down here, and I'll loom it all together once it's all in the car. So yeah, bit of work, but it's gonna be nice, you know, whatever. All right, so the wire, we've got it run all the way along the back, and went ahead and just poked the hole through the grommet, and it's in there in the floor. So I'm gonna zip tie this up and then connect the power and stuff. The gauges are done. Oil temperature, oil pressure, so that's good. Wheel time! Got the FK8 up on the lift, and we've got a splitter. The race spread splitter came in, and we are using these S2000 brackets. So it's going to be kind of interesting getting this thing mounted up here. So the plan so far is we're going to have to mod at least a small corner of the brake duct. Race spread, they include these plates that go in here, and the bracket like this will essentially bolt up under here, kind of hang down, and it's got the latches that are going to go on the splitter. Just doing some transmission fluid service, so just flush the fluid. Brake ducts. This place is a mess right now, but this is the splitter. So we're going to make the mounts bolted up here, and then we'll actually add some support rods probably to the bottom so that they hang down and support the front, and hopefully it fits with the lip. And yeah, so it's going to be a bunch of work for this. We're almost finished with this car. Not much else to do. We do have a few suspension mods, a few other suspension parts that we're going to put on. I don't know if they're going to go on in time for the event in a couple of weeks, but we still have a lot of other cars to work on. Still got to do S2000 stuff, and you know, so Cody's here. We're going to put this thing together, measure it, drill some holes, cut some stuff, you know. Making some progress on this splitter. It's been quite the job. So basically, since we're using the S2000 brackets in here, we've had to cut a bunch of the bumper, honestly. Cut this out right here, get these brackets to mount up. Can't use the fog lights anymore. Fog lights have to come out. Underside of the bumper, that piece has got to come out. We've trimmed part of the brake ducts, and just kind of cut part of it out and riveted it back together so it would clear the brackets, because these things, you know, sit, you know, kind of right in here, something like this, but inside in there. So
I got it. It's on this impact.
Yeah. So bunch of work, about to drill the holes and put this thing back together. So it's been a few days since we've been working on this FK8, and we managed to get the splitter and everything bolted on. So fits nice, super strong. So we've got to do some support rods in the center. We're testing out a couple of parts in here. So got the intake and the battery and stuff pulled off, but transmission fluid is changed, and now I'm about to bleed the brakes with some Motul RBF 600. Alright, it's been a few days. This FK8 work has been more than I expected. So it's taken, you know, 3 or 4 days to kind of get all this stuff together, but we've been working on a bunch of other stuff as well. So for the time being, the FK8's done. With aside from the wrap, still working on the wrap for the hood. But here it is. Splitter mounted. Wheels and tires on. The brakes have been bled. Gauge pods in, gauges are working. So it's getting closer. Just a little test run. These tires are awesome, and I think they're going to do really great. The fitment on these wheels, these things fit a little better than the Titan 7s. They're plus 38, so they're only slightly narrower, less aggressive with the offset, but still no problems. Put the tire spats on both sides to help with the splitter. All in all, this thing rips. If you haven't ever driven or ridden in an FK8, find somebody, beg them to take you for a ride or to drive it, because it's absolutely an amazing car. I love it. I love driving it. So I'm gonna do a few more things to this car, I think, in the next week or so. Still have to put the camber plates on, rear camber arms, sway bars and stuff, but that'll happen at some point. But for now, this video's done. Thanks for watching, and look, if you have some suggestions about what we should do with the car, what we should do next, comment below. So we're open to suggestions. I mean, the car it's honestly kind of going full track mode, to be honest, but there's always things that we can do. So comment down below, help us out, and be sure to like and subscribe like always. And yeah, thanks for watching.